Now, the best way to understand how signs work at first is to see them from the bigger picture as different components having a particular purpose in a cycle. So each of the signs have a purpose, they all work together from start to finish, and then the cycle starts up again. So let me demonstrate this to you. So starting off in the sign of Aries, the purpose of Aries would be to initiate the cycle. And once that's completed, the cycle goes on to the next sign, Taurus. Once Taurus is done, it goes on to Gemini, and then Cancer, and then Leo, Virgo, and then Libra. From Libra onwards, we're entering the second half of the Zodiac cycle, and that's Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. So at Pisces, the cycle finishes. Now from this point on, the cycle starts up again, from Aries all the way through to Pisces. So that's how it works. Cycles are a general concept that occur everywhere in nature. They're all around us, whether it's the moon cycles or the months of the year, the days of the week, or the hours on the clock. Cycles are a system that we go off. And by understanding the meaning of the sign in terms of it having a purpose in this kind of way, we will better grasp the details of what the actual sign means. And they won't just be keywords that are just there. They're keywords that describe the purpose of the actual sign, because the sign has a particular job in the cycle. And that's what we'll be looking into today. Now, the best way to demonstrate how this works in terms of what the signs actually mean and how they start and finish will be using the metaphor of an individual being born into the world, where they're a baby in Aries. So that's where they begin in life. They go through a series of stages in each sign of growth, finishing off into Pisces, and the cycle goes on and on. So let's look into that. Okay, so the astrological cycle begins in the very first sign of Aries. So Aries represents the initial spark of consciousness or self-awareness in terms of survival. And this is symbolized by the individual being a newborn baby whose priorities is to survive, regardless of anything else outside of its boundaries. Babies need to be held, they need to be fed, loved, and cared for, and that's what Aries represents. The concept of I am asserts these essential requirements. Okay, so now moving on to the next sign of Taurus. So Taurus represents the recognition of what one has from the initial start of Aries. And the expression I have really operates here. So in this case, the baby understands it has possessions. It has a body, it has fingers and toes, it might have a bottle or food to eat. And through these possessions, I should say, the baby starts to find security and meaning. And by having experiences through the body, they then develop meaning and an understanding of the value in those experiences. And this is where we develop our values. Now, from developing our values, we then move on to the next phase of the cycle called Gemini, the sign Gemini. So Gemini represents the conscious understanding of awareness. So now the baby learns how to talk, how to think consciously, how to listen, and they begin to develop a connection to their environment. So everything they've connected with physically through Taurus, they're able to think, have an opinion, and share what their experience is. And this is what Gemini represents. The expression of I think operates with this sign. And now once we learn how to communicate and connect with our environment, we then move on to the next phase called Cancer. So this is the phase of emotional recognition. Cancer is all about developing our feelings and emotions. So in this case, the baby starts to learn that they have a home to belong in. They learn about their mother figure and security and being safe and feeling safe and making sense of those experiences from Gemini, those conscious experiences. Whether those experiences are positive or negative, they then develop feelings from that. And the expression I feel really works here. So for example, if the baby has a positive experience interacting with another child, for example, two children interacting, as you can see here, that creates positive feelings. And likewise, if the experience is negative, the feeling is then negative as well. So this is the phase of Cancer, I feel. Okay, so now we move on to the next phase of the Zodiac cycle called Leo. So Leo is all about confidence and courage. Now the child learns to manifest their feelings and conscious awareness that they've attained before into a sense of courageousness. And the expression I will works here. The child now learns to bring out their personality. So this forms personality. And through their personality, they're able to manifest who they are through painting, singing, being artistic, and just being who they are in the moment. That's what Leo is all about. Now, depending on how they feel about themselves and what experiences they've been through previously, that will dictate how well they can be who they are and bring out their personality, the confidence and the courage. So that's the sign of Leo with the expression I will. Okay, so now we move on to the next phase of the cycle called Virgo. So Virgo is all about applying the creative side from Leo and putting it into good use to the individual and to others. And it's recognizing the will to create and getting a result from that creativity. And the best way for the individual to do this is to first understand what they're actually good at or what they can be creative in and refine it in a way where it generates a result, either for themselves or for other people. So that's what Virgo is all about. I analyze. Okay, so now we enter the second half of the cycle, where it's no longer about the individual and it's about the outside world or other people, which is the top of the chart in natal astrology. And this is represented by the sign of Libra. So it starts off in Libra now. So Libra represents the concept of I balance. And now the individual needs to understand that there's other people in life that they need to consider. And by considering others and themselves, where they create a balance, they then develop relationships. And that's what Libra is all about. And it's not just relationships with other people, but it's also the relationship with themselves. And Libra is all about that. It's balancing the internal world with the outside world. So that's the sign of Libra. Okay, so moving on to the next phase of the cycle, we enter the sign of Scorpio. And here, the individual needs to learn the process behind merging with the other person. Previously, they learnt and established a connection with someone. Now they need to go deeper into that connection and make it a creative process. And the relationship from that creative process leads to what's called desire. So the concept I desire turns in here. And when two individuals have a deep desire for one another, they procreate and have children. And that's what Scorpio is all about. Children are the byproduct of the relationship between two people merging together. So that's the sign Scorpio. Okay, so now we enter the next phase of the cycle called Sagittarius. So basically, Sagittarius is all about the search for understanding. And the individual previously goes through experiences where they have a desire for someone or for something, and having a desire for something or someone generates results. which is an experience. And that experience is a learning curve for them. And if the experience works for them, they learn or understand that it is the right approach. If it does not work for them, they understand that it isn't the right approach. So close bonds and profound experiences in Scorpio generate into what's called Sagittarius, which is understanding. And by exploring certain avenues of life, we develop an experience or understanding of what works for us. And that's what Sagittarius is all about. Okay, so now we move on to the next phase of the cycle called Capricorn. So here the individual now needs to apply their lessons and experiences of what they learned previously in Sagittarius and have a purpose with it. And this is where the individual then needs to contribute to the world. And that's what Capricorn is all about. It's having a particular purpose, having a responsibility, having a hard work ethic, so that those experiences can be useful and be applied to the outside world. This is a little bit different to Virgo. Virgo is a bit more on a smaller scale. Capricorn, in this case, is more of having a goal or being known for something. And this is why Capricorn is, or this house here is known to be the house of career, because it's our purpose or our goal, where we're heading in life. So that's the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so now we move on to the next phase of the cycle called Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about innovation and improvement. And now the individual needs to learn that they have freedom and they have the ability to change the rules so that they're free to be more of who they are. In Capricorn, you need to follow certain rules or certain ways of being to achieve a particular purpose. In Aquarius, we need to now improve those rules so that we get a different goal. And technology is a very good example of this. In technology, the rules always change. There's always different ways of doing things. And Aquarius symbolizes the concept of coming together as a group, having a wish or an idea and working towards it and stepping away from the old or updating the old. And that's what Aquarius is all about. And the concept of I know applies here. I know that through having a vision, we can make better progress. So that's Aquarius. Now we move on to the final phase of the cycle called Pisces. And Pisces is all about seeking to understand the realm beyond the personal experience. So here the individual now needs to learn the concept of letting go of the ego and merging with life. And this is what death is normally about. It's letting go of where you've been and accepting the unknown and merging with it. And to do that, the concept of I believe really holds here. And letting go of the 11 previous cycles of manifestation. So Pisces is now where we have a belief or an aim to start the cycle again back in Aries, this time doing it very differently. So that's the meaning of Pisces. Okay, so there you have it, the 12 astrological signs of the Zodiac. So now, if you were to interpret any part of your natal chart, just remember that each particular sign has a purpose or job in the cycle. And by understanding that each sign has a particular purpose, you can incorporate that meaning or purpose in the interpretation of whatever it is you're looking at in the natal chart. So for example, if you have your sun sign in the sign of Virgo, by remembering the purpose of Virgo, which is the application of what you're creative in, remembering that will help you tune in to your sun sign a lot better. So it works like that. So if you enjoyed watching this video and you found it useful, please give me a like and don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click the bell so that future videos as they come up will be notified to you in your inbox or wherever it is on your YouTube page. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon in future videos. Bye for now.